This plant is considered a weed, but it's actually steeped in a history of witchcraft and folklore. It might even be growing in your very own backyard right now. Today we're talking all about ground ivy, also known as creeping Charlie, its magic, medicine, folklore, and why this overlooked little herb might just become one of your most powerful plant spirit allies. Welcome, my wildflowers. If you're new here, I'm Star, the Wild Witch. I am visually impaired, but magic has no limits, and neither do you. I'm so excited to officially be kicking off this new Green Witches Herbal Ally, Plant Spirit Ally, Magical Botanical series. I'm not sure what to call it yet, but we will be focusing on one plant, herb, flower, magical spell ingredient per month. And I was inspired to start this series because there is so much more to our witches spell ingredients than herbs sitting in pretty little jars on an apothecary shelf. The first plant spirit we're going to be focusing on is ground ivy. But before we dig into it, I have a little bit of an announcement to make. It's not little, it's pretty huge for me. My hubby, Mr. Wild Witch, and I have been working really hard on a secret project that I'm about to reveal to you. Are you ready? Because I don't know if I am. But we have been working very hard on launching a Ko-fi coffee shop. I don't know how to pronounce that, but in our Ko-fi shop, we have been working hard together on creating Green Witches Herbal Grimoire pages for your digital, virtual, or physical Book of Shadows. You can work with these digitally or physically by printing them out. It's meant to be kind of a companion to this Witches Herbal Ally series that we're doing here on the channel, so you can work alongside me as we go through each herb per month. And of course, this one features ground ivy. And that's actually my own photography of ground ivy there. We had a really fun photo shoot with the plant. If you want to grab these for yourself, you can find these in our Ko-fi shop. It's a really good deal, 6 pages plus a label for only $3.33. So feel free to grab those and work alongside me and on your own as well. So we're going to go into details later, but let's dig into all the details about ground ivy, starting with the basics. Ground ivy's Latin botanical name is Glechoma hederacea, and she has several folk names, including ale hoof, cat's foot, gill go over the ground, haymaids, and the most commonly known one, especially here in the US, is creeping Charlie. So how do you identify ground ivy or creeping Charlie? Ground ivy is a member of the mint family, and one of the most common ways to be able to tell is her square-shaped stem. Not only can you visually see this, but if you twirl the stem in your fingers, you can feel that square shape. It doesn't roll as smoothly as a more round stem would. Like many other mint family members, ground ivy grows horizontally along the ground more than she does vertically or upward. And this is because she has runners that spread along the ground, allowing her to creep along the ground more easily. Her blooms are blue, purple in color, and they are kind of in a funnel shape, and if you look closely, they do rather resemble a cat's foot, hence where the very sweet folk name cat's foot comes from. They grow in bilateral symmetry in clusters of 2 to 3. Her green leaves grow in opposite pairs along the stem. They're kidney-shaped with scalloped edges. So what does ground ivy or creeping Charlie smell like? Some people say that she has an aromatic smell that smells kind of minty, but according to my nose, that is definitely not the case. To me, she smells a little musky with a peppery note in there. Some people might find her smell pleasant, but I personally do not. I find her very pungent due to her volatile oils. But I do want to have a note here about identification and misidentification. I feel this is very important to address. Always be 100% confident and certain that you have identified a plant correctly before you harvest it, work with it, or even touch it. It's always better to be safe rather than sorry. And if you feel unsure, consult a local field guide or expert in this area. There are some lookalikes to ground ivy, including purple dead nettle and henbit. And sometimes they can actually grow in close proximity to each other, if not right next to each other, so you always want to be sure. Here's a little overview for you about ground ivy with some general information. She grows all over North America, prefers shady conditions, and she is a food for pollinators in early spring. You might notice her popping up at different times than maybe I would, depending on your bioregion. That's going to be unique to you in your area, but I'm really happy to share what I've learned through my own personal field notes. In my zone, 6A, I notice her popping up anywhere from mid-March to early April, and she really starts to die back in the first week of June, but that's what I've noticed from observing her over the years. And again, that might be different for you. Historically, ground ivy was used as an additive in the process of making ale, not only for her clarity, but for her flavor as well. I think this was before hops became more commonly used as an additive for ale, but I do wonder what the ale must have tasted like with ground ivy as an additive. If you've tried it that way, please let me know. But ground ivy also has a very interesting folklore. So according to folklore, she was worn by milkmaids to prevent enchantment on the cows. So it would protect the cows from any bewitchment. Very interesting. I was just looking at my notes, and I would really appreciate your feedback on this. I'm more than happy to share the folk medicine uses of the plant we're talking about purely through a historical context. However, I'm considering just dropping this section on the series completely because I am not a qualified herbalist, physician, or medical practitioner. I'm just a witch, and any folk medicine that I work with for myself, and I don't feel comfortable sharing that with others, but I would really appreciate your feedback. Would you like this section to stay only from a historical lens, or would you rather focus on the magic and how to work with it within your spells, rituals, and what you practice? This is for entertainment purposes only. In folk medicine, ground ivy was used to treat the liver, the lungs, the kidneys, ringing of the ears, or tinnitus. It was also used as a cold and cough remedy. However, not enough research exists to support these claims. And ground ivy actually contains some compounds that are known irritants in large amounts to the kidneys and to the digestive system in humans and in animals. It contains anti-inflammatory properties, anti-scorbic acid, vitamin C, vitamin E, and antioxidants. Let's move on to what's most definitely my favorite part of this video and series as a whole. It might be yours too. So what are the magical properties and magical uses of ground ivy, creeping Charlie within witchcraft for spells and rituals? So I have scoured my resources. The only book that featured a little bit about ground ivy in it was good old Scotty Boy's Encyclopedia of Magical Herbs. And he actually had very little information in there. He didn't even list correspondences, which is really unusual for him, but that was the only book I could find anything on. Now, there is something I want to say. I'm a little nervous about it, but I will be sharing with you my own correspondences and my own magical properties that I have figured out through my own UPG, or unverified personal gnosis. I am more than happy to make a video on gnosis and magical properties, that kind of thing. If that's something you want to see, drop it down below and I will make it happen. But I have figured these out through the symbolism of the plants, folklore, historical uses, through symbolism of how it grows. When you have gnosis within your witchcraft, that strengthens your connection to the plant spirit ally, and it strengthens your magic as well. And through my own experimentation of putting the symbolism to magical properties, I can say that for me, I have definitely noticed success in my workings. I just wanted to put that out there, that it definitely works for me, but how I feel about something might not be how you feel about something, and that's the beauty of gnosis. I'm that kind of witch that picks magic apart to my own detriment. Like, I rack my brain just looking for the whys. You'll look in a lot of these magical plant books and it'll give you the magical properties, it'll give you the correspondences, but you don't get the why. And that is something that I crave and I seek out, and I make my own whys, damn it. I put it together, and yeah. So I'm going to give you my own correspondences, and of course they come with my whys. My own magical properties, you're going to get the why. So if you're like me and that's something that you want, here we go. Like I said, Cunningham didn't have correspondences, so here's mine. Through my own UPG, I associate ground ivy with the planet Mercury, specifically for communication, clear thinking, perception, and revealing truths. I also associate her with the earth element because she grows and creeps low on the ground. She's very closely connected to the earth because of how she grows. That makes me think of stability, and the gender I associate her with is masculine because she is assertive, but in a gentle way. She's not afraid to take up space, and if you mow her down, if you prune her, pull her out, she's coming back. And in a way that doesn't, like, I've noticed she doesn't choke out a lot of other plants, but she is confident in her right to thrive. The first magical property comes from Scott Cunningham's Encyclopedia of Magical Herbs. He says to discover who's working magic against you, to sprinkle this herb around the base of a yellow candle on a Tuesday, and the person will become known to you. Now, I don't know if this is through some folk magic that I've been missing through my research, or if this comes from his own personal grimoire. I could see why he came up with that magical property, but I would like to know more. That's my own opinion. So here's the magical properties that I have discovered through symbolism, my own UPG. I attribute the magical property of clarity to her, because just as she clarifies the ale, she can bring clarity to you or a situation, what you're seeking clarity on. I feel that she helps with that, and through my own experiences, she has definitely helped me with that as well. I also associate her with expansion, growing and spreading your reach. What are you looking to expand upon or grow your reach with? She can definitely help with that. She has helped me with that many a time in the past. And I also associate her with workings for assertiveness, kind of like in a way to overcome shyness. I feel that she does help with courage and confidence, because she keeps coming back. Even if you try to get rid of her, she is coming back. She can also help in workings in protection against malicious magic, because in folklore, she was worn by milkmaids to protect the cows from enchantment, and she can also protect you and what you're seeking to protect from enchantment of baneful workings from others. I want to share with you what I've learned from ground ivy, connecting with her as a plant spirit ally. She has such a bold personality. She's persistent, she's assertive, but not in a defiance sort of way, but just through her own pure joy and confidence. I feel like she's just saying, you can't hold me back, even if you try, because I'm just gonna come back even stronger, because she has the right to thrive and just be there, take up space unapologetically. When I connected with her this year through a meditation, the message I received from her was so sweet, and I want to share it with you. It's very empowering, and I hope you enjoy it. Be persistent but gentle. Expand where you feel called to, and even if others try to prune you back, you will find a way to thrive. As I mentioned early on in the video, I want to share more about this Green Witch Herbal Bundle for ground ivy offered to you on our Ko-Fi shop. So the first page, you get the photography to get an idea of what the plant looks like. You get the Latin name, folk names, correspondences, and you get the plant spirit energy. You get the message from ground ivy, and that's only on the first page. I did make the font a little on the larger side, not just in case there's visually impaired folks like myself out there, but sometimes even if you can see normally, it can be just more convenient, right? So this page, I have to look and see, it is the growth and habit identification. That's on page 2. Page 3 has a lot of symbolism with the history, the folklore, and magical properties. They are right there for you. Then these pages are for you to have fun with and fill out on your own. I want you to have a place where you can fill out your own findings with ground ivy. So we designed this one. This is a field guide where you can put in all your field notes, and then a personal guide which focuses on your own personal connection to the plant. Some prompts for you there. And then we have a page that we made for reflection prompts. So your own experiences with this plant spirit. And of course, the label, if you want to put that on your jar. So we hope that you enjoy this offering. It is a really good bundle. You get like 6 pages plus a plant label, and at a very low price of just $3.33. Ground ivy has been growing alongside us in our gardens and in our yards. Most people do see it as a weed, something to be pulled and pruned and cut back. But if we work with her as an ally, there's so much magic that can grow from that. And I would love to know, have you worked with ground ivy in your magic before? Let me know down below in the comments. I can't wait to chat with you there as always. Until next time, I hope that you enjoyed this video over here, and I will see you again very soon.